When I was 34, I was retrenched from my job at a big tech company. By that time, I had already achieved a small income from my dividends and decided I would just give up on the grind to play games all day instead. 14 years later, I am still pretty much living my dream life. I get up on my own time without an alarm clock. I do not have to answer to any boss or client, and I am still able to afford luxuries like a new phone or iPad once in a while. Things are changing, especially since 2020, but here's how it's all going. Back in 2010, I was already living cheaply and investing in the stock markets, slowly accumulating a dividend portfolio that would eventually allow me to retire without needing a job. My plan was originally to work at my job, accumulate what little I could into the markets, live a normal 9 to 5 life, and eventually retire at around 65. I calculated that I should be able to get a portfolio of around $500,000 to $600,000, which would net me an income of around $2,000 a month for my expenses. At which time I could choose to work part-time for the extra luxuries and perhaps take care of myself in my old age. But life circumstances brought me a different choice. The neighbor's renovations had caused some damage to my house, and I was not prepared to go into a legal dispute to get compensated for the damages. So either I sell my house or face a huge bill in trying to repair it into a more livable state. But here I saw an opportunity to supercharge my dividend portfolio instead. So I sold off my house, bought a smaller, modest place for my family to live, and I managed to accumulate $500,000 in a dividend portfolio, giving around $30,000 a year. Shortly after, I was retrenched from my job of 11 years. I was totally prepared to continue working, but I decided I would take this opportunity to live life on my own terms. So I decided to just live off my dividends and play games all day instead. It was the most liberating choice I have ever made in my life. How can anyone live off $30,000 a year? I have a few things going for me which allow me to live on this small amount. The main advantage I have is that I do not have a mortgage. With the sale of my house in 2010, I bought my current place outright. This one little move freed me from having to worry about making payments for the roof over my head. The sale of my house also enabled the rest of my family to become financially independent themselves, so I do not have to worry about taking care of them as I taught them how to live off dividends like myself. So that leaves expenses like food, travel, and entertainment. Food expenses can be reduced if you stick to cooking at home. In fact, when you are already financially independent, one way to keep a healthy lifestyle and lower your costs would be to cook your meals at home. Because cooking is done at home, transport costs are kept to a minimum. This leaves the last major category, and that is entertainment. When it comes to entertainment, my entertainment of choice is gaming, YouTube, and anime. A powerful PC and a good monitor might cost me $5,000, but making one would last me a few years and the cost will even out with use. To this day, a PC is my greatest investment once every few years. Why go for dividends? Why not go for explosive growth when you are young and switch to dividends only when you are older? What I learned over the years is that companies which distribute dividends do grow. They are unlikely to show big profit numbers like the Magnificent Seven. But over the years, I have increased the dividends I have gotten in a year just by sitting on my butt and waiting with the stock in hand. Some of the best dividend stocks I possess were bought over 10 years ago, and not only has the stock price increased compared to when I bought it, the dividends for those same stocks have also risen over the years, and I have been on the receiving end of that increase all the way. People keep saying that the growth in growth stocks will outpace dividends no matter what, and they always cite how the S&P 500 has grown more than the growth of dividend stock over the years. But unless you buy and hold the index for a long time, there is no guarantee that you would enjoy that growth at all. In fact, research shows that trading too much in the stock market leads to an overall loss in most people's portfolios. I am no guru, and dividend investing is for the long game. So my strategy is to be choosy when it comes to buying a stock. But when I commit, it will be for a long time. Ideally, forever. Investing in dividends also has the side effect of not caring what the markets are hyping about, so that I can look for and invest in real companies that have long-term prospects. When it comes to growth companies, there is a need to monitor them, and this can be a huge source of stress. This is further compounded when prices in growth companies like to go up and down like a roller coaster. I have taken a trading course where the trading instructor asked me if I was prepared for 2 bankruptcies and a heart attack in order to earn 5 figures a month. No thanks. Gaming is life for me, and I cannot be gaming if I am bankrupt or recovering from a heart attack. The idea of success for a lot of people is to live a full and rich life. And for most of those people, they do not even know what a full or rich life even is. Some people will tell you they want to travel the world, or possess many works of art, or control huge companies, or be adored by many people. For me, what I wanted was to live a carefree life and play games all day. So for me, getting to live this life is already a dream come true. Sure, I do sometimes envy my friends who are getting their nice big houses, fancy cars, or having nice holidays. But I realize that it is also part of the common man's dream. What would I do with that big house when all I needed was a good PC and a basic room? Where would I go in that fancy car when my life is all about going to virtual worlds? Okay, maybe that occasional holiday to Japan would be fun, but it is mainly to get the Blu-rays of anime that I would like to watch. And between YouTube and Netflix, most of that desire is already fulfilled anyway. Over the years, I have learned that being productive just for the sake of it can be just as counterproductive as doing nothing and playing games all day. If it is not needed for survival or working towards a longer term goal, grinding at life is not very different from grinding in a game. Until that longer term goal can be clearly defined, I believe that grinding hard at a job that you hate is just making your life miserable for no reason other than to fit into societal norms. To me, the true goal that I wanted to achieve was freedom to do as I please in the time and way that I choose to do it. The most important lesson I got is that ultimately my life is mine to lead, and I am grateful for the chance to live my life as I please and how I see fit. This also means I need to take on the responsibilities of my inaction as much as the actions I have taken. I have enjoyed years of gaming, and I will continue to enjoy many more years of gaming to come. But in 2020, things changed for humanity in a big way, and I am not spared the consequences either. The double whammy lesson that I am also learning is that my desires have now changed, and I need to get back into the grind to get more cash to live a different life from the one I envisioned way back in 2011. When it comes to inaction, I have learned that although dividend stocks are mainly a steady and forget it income source, occasionally it does pay to go back and check on it once in a while, like say once a month. Although no major moves are needed most of the time, being on top of developments that are happening to the companies that you own could help to alert you that action would have to be taken. This could be a buying opportunity as much as a cut loss opportunity. Experience and learning about investment is the key here, but I am very sure that this is way easier than having to monitor growth stocks with all its ups and downs. My inaction over the years have also compounded, and now it is coming back to nibble at me. I am by no means on the brink of bankruptcy and hopefully not a heart attack, but I now desire to see more of the real world and to give something back to the world I currently live in. This means that I am now outgrowing my dividend income and have to get back into the grind to fund my new desired lifestyle. This change in direction is giving me some purpose in life, and it is the main reason for this channel's existence. I hope to be able to contribute value to the world with my lived experiences, and in the process build a forever job that ignores ageism and funds my other desires in this life besides gaming. There are so many stories of people getting 5 figures a month for merely existing, and this has also piqued my interest. I believe that side hustles and remote work is the future, and I am also excited to try and be a part of that future. So I hope to create more videos that talk about income creation, side hustles and forever jobs. If you think that's what you would like to know more about, subscribe for more videos as I make them. But wouldn't getting a job be faster and easier when it comes to a quick injection of cash to fund my lifestyle? Why not take on part-time jobs and quit whenever I do not like the company that I work with? Those are good questions, and I would like to answer them more in depth in another video. But a quick answer would be that I want to create long-term assets which I could reuse for an income further in the future. All this without having to work long hours in a dead-end job. Jobs which I could potentially have to spend hours searching for again and again, as such part-time jobs tend to dry up after some time. And in this economy, job security is no longer a thing. So why not just jump into the small business game instead? If I were back in 2011, would I still play games all day knowing what I know now? Yes, I would, but I would be more aware of the responsibilities that come with the freedom that I earned. I would definitely continue putting in a small amount of effort in the middle of my gaming life so that I could diversify my income as a backup of backup of backups. This definitely goes against our very nature as human beings, and I fell into that trap as well. It is very difficult to continue the grind when life is good and there is not a stormy cloud in sight. But even with the very best of preparations, there will be times when circumstances change so much that we are forced to do things which we do not really like. I do not regret gaming all day, but I do regret not starting a forever job earlier. By making this channel and making videos on YouTube, I hope to tell everyone to start earlier and work on yourself to build just that little bit more, even after you have made it to your dream life. If you would like to know more about what some people get wrong about dividends, check out my other video here. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching to the end of this video, and I shall see you in the next one.